So, Bev, what advice would you like to share with someone who's just new to the journey of supporting their loved one with chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, POTS, and or long COVID?
When it first began, the not knowing was what was happening was our problem. Everyone was struggling. Like we went to many doctors and all the rest of it, but once again, you sort of had to stick with it and find somebody who would believe you that she was actually sick.
Mm.
My advice is listen to the one who is suffering and give them space, let them rest, sleep whenever, no matter what the time of day. Definitely don't put pressures on them. They have enough to deal with. Find a GP who will help. Don't listen to the people giving good advice unless they have had experience in the same situation. There will be lots who don't understand and lots who will not ask how things are going because they are afraid of your answer. You will find people will almost ignore the sufferer when face to face and will speak to you as if they are not there and able to speak for themselves. Most of all, just listen to the person who you're caring for and encourage them to contact CCI. Now, I've probably answered more than one question there, but is that all right?
That was wonderful, Bev. Thank you. Yep, really, really good. Thank you, because it's so important. All of those things that you said, I think, are very, very important. And it's great advice to share. Thank you. Thank you, Bev. Good morning, John. How are you?
Okay, thank you. Sorry I was
Good.
late. I couldn't find the link to get in.
Oh, no problem. It's nice to have you with us now. I'm just checking, did you see my email yesterday with regards to a few questions that we were hoping to ask the group this morning?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. So we've just asked the first question to Bev, and she's given us some great advice. And would it be okay if I ask the same question for you now as well?
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So we just wanted to really get an understanding perhaps of what advice you might like to share with someone who's just new to the journey of supporting their loved one with chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, POTS, post-viral syndrome, and or long COVID.
A long list of symptoms, isn't it? Or a long list of syndromes. I've made a few notes, and for me there are three things. One of them is to learn as much as you can about what's going on for your loved one. My wife Alison is constantly on the internet looking at stuff, and I'm not particularly good at going further and reading the things that she says here. I found this useful, read it. But that would, yeah, I think that's something that's been important for me over the years and dealing with this. The second thing is that when they're venting because they're frustrated at whatever it is, often it's not directed at you personally as a support person. It's just that they need to vent their frustration. It's important that you look at it and think, now, are there things there for me that I need to change? Because maybe it is something you're doing that's causing the issue. But yeah, what I'm saying is don't take everything personally when they get angry, because it's not. Often it's not directed at you. It's just that life is shit and they need somebody to know that and to get rid of that feeling. And then the third thing for me would be about holding hope that there is a better future. And you have to keep saying it, and you have to do what you can to nurture that in them as well, and often that will mean doing stuff or supporting them to do stuff that will make a difference for their lives for the future. So those three things: learn what you can, venting is not directed at you personally, and hold the hope for the person that there is a better future there.
It's really powerful as well, John. Thank you. Great advice. Yeah.
That's great advice. I just had a conversation yesterday about how a client and her partner, how they've learned to communicate, and how they both own their own emotion. But sometimes, yes, it is a case of venting, but it's as a matter of just stepping back and having some space and having questions around, you know, how are you feeling today, and what's this about, and sort of exploring that together with them. So that's a great that you brought that up. Thank you, John. Yeah.
Thank you. And just another question that I've got here as well. We'll start with Bev, if that's okay. What are some ways that you've found to maintain connection with your loved one while they've been unwell?
Well, we've probably lived with it, and we were very close before she got sick at 14. Give her space, and I can read her pretty well most of the time. But it's just a case of being a mum and being there. I really don't know how else more I can say. As you have to give them space to do what they need to do, and as the years tick over, those things change. But just be there for them, really, and do what a mother does most of the time. I don't know what to say, because you know you can usually read somebody that you're caring for, or you hope you can. But yes, we've had a few barneys at times, but it's all right. We get over it. Disagreements, but that's life too. But I don't know what else to say, actually. Thank you.
No, I think that's really good. I think you're right. It's just holding space, isn't it? And letting them express what they need.
One thing I've endeavoured to do is keep life ticking over as normal as possible, and making that allowance for her to fit in if she can. We find now that 2 or 3 rest days before an event helps her get through the actual event, what's happening, and then she'll crash for a few days afterwards. And then you just gotta, that's the way it is. That's the resting seems to be so important.
And just planning for those activities either side, isn't it? Yeah. Well, that's
like
great.
Christmas coming up. It's gonna be busy. Like even the other day we went shopping, and she had some prednisone before she went, so she could get through the shopping experience. Which if you don't take it, we wouldn't have got shopping at all. So
yeah,
you learn different things what to do.
Thank you, Bev. Thank you. And how about you, John? Have you found some ways to maintain connection?
We have. Like what Bev was saying about keeping life as normal as possible, I think is really important. One of the things that we have struggled with, and it's perhaps more to the first question, but the importance of schedules and a regular schedule during the day while Ellie tries to build up the energy levels. That's something that's really important. It's and we've really struggled with that. But try to keep things normal is important. It's I think it goes to that idea of hope of a better life as well. That this illness doesn't become the be-all and end-all of a person's existence. The things, thinking about connecting, the things that we do have been to modify, because of the illness, the things that we did before. So we would often go out walking together, and we'd walk for an hour and a half or 2 hours sometimes, and that's no longer possible. But on some of the better days, to go for a walk together, because that's the time that we'll talk, even if it's only 50 meters, 100 meters down the road and then back again. That's been important. We'd go for coffee, and one of the things we do now as a way of connecting is to go in the car to one of our local parks, and there's a coffee cart there, so we park as close as we can to the coffee cart, get out, buy a couple of coffees, and we take some folding chairs in case the seats that are there are occupied, and walk a short distance, put the seats under a tree, have a coffee, sit and talk, and come home again. And so that's, don't do that often, because Ellie's often housebound. But that's really good. And then the final thing doesn't happen. The talking doesn't happen every morning, but we've been in the habit for years of getting up, making a cup of tea, and then going back to bed and reading the newspaper together. And that's, again, often a time when we will talk together, and that's maintaining the connections. And then once you get up, then life gets busy, so not quite so easy. But noticing each other during the day, wave through the window, or giving hugs or taking hugs. That physical contact again. It's it's taking the opportunities to notice the other person is present and recognizing that.
Lovely. There's some really lovely sentiments there, John. I really like how you said adapting some of the things that you've always enjoyed and making it possible to still do that as best as you can. Thank you. Thank you both for sharing those tips, because they're going to be very, very, very helpful for others. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Can I just add in there, like the way John speaks, because his relationship is with his wife, whereas mine's mother and daughter.
Yeah.
And it's quite different relationship, of course, that you have.
Yeah.
And so the circumstances change, don't they?
Definitely. That's
Yeah,
right.
they do change.
That's a really good point that you raised, Bev. Okay. Does anyone?
Sorry, I just wanted to add that often, like that relationship changes from mother-daughter or husband-wife to carer-daughter, carer-wife. Yeah, so it's how you maintain the mum-daughter and the husband-wife relationship within the carer role. So just taking time out to be the husband and to be the mum, as opposed to just the carer, is really important. So thank you both for that. You've really sort of shared some really great ideas on how you can maintain those roles that you have, husband and mum roles. So that's really cool. Thank you.